Friends and invited guests, please stand and welcome the American University Color Guard, the University Marshal, Andrea Pearson, Faculty Trustee and Chair of the Faculty Senate, and members of American University's graduating class for spring 2018. Please direct your attention to the University Marshal, Professor Andrea Pearson.
Friends, guests, and candidates for degrees, welcome. It's my pleasure to present the faculty of the School of International Service, the candidates for doctoral degrees, the administration of the university, and our honored guests. American University's 135th commencement will now begin.
Good evening. Please join me in thanking the City of Alexandria Pipes and Drums. Candidates for degrees, honored guests, parents, families, trustees, Jack Cassell, the chair of our Board of Trustees, Valentina Fernandez, our student trustee, Syra Greenwald, our student trustee-elect, Andrea Pearson, our faculty trustee, alumni, and friends. On behalf of American University, welcome to our 135th commencement. Please join in singing our national anthem led by Judith Glenn Mabone, a graduating senior majoring in international studies. Please remain standing for the invocation that will be offered by the United Methodist Chaplain, Reverend Joey Heath.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets would glow, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the
Greetings. I invite you to center yourselves for the invocation. Empowering one of grace and mercy, we invite your presence into this place today as family, faculty, administrators, community, and friends have come together to celebrate the accomplishments of the graduating class of 2018 and to hear these the petitions of our hearts. Today we give thanks for the sweet taste of accomplishment. In a world that persistently asks, "What have you done lately?" we are here to celebrate hard work completed and done well. Allow this to be a time of great joy and celebration. For sacrifice made by others, most of us have not made it here alone. Remind us that these significant ones, many of them present here today, will walk this stage in spirit with these graduates as they cross. For the sacrifices made by the graduates themselves, they have shown dedication through their studies, hours in the library and the many terrace spaces on campus, in study groups and group projects, and the all-nighters, and the papers turned in at the last moment, but on time. Through the sweat and tears and shouts of joy, we give thanks for completing what may be the most difficult work they have done to this point in life. And today we ask for your blessing on these, our graduates. Bless them with passion. Let them move out from this day, not into jobs, but into a calling. Let them live for their passions, their talents, and their gifts, and take every opportunity to put these to good use in creating a better tomorrow. Bless them with a sense of responsibility. Remind them that they have a contribution to make, to create change, and to create a better world in whatever places they find themselves. That as graduates, they are now a people of privilege charged to use that privilege responsibly and not to the detriment of others. Bless them with humility. Help them to live not in excessive pride, but in a way that lifts the values of equity and equality of all of humanity, and that seeks not to lift up oneself alone, but seeks to lift up all others as well. And finally, bless them with a legacy. These graduates today will mark the world whether they are trying to or not. Let the shadow of their mark stretch far beyond their liabilities and limitations. Let them know the rich satisfaction not merely of making a living, but of living a life full, rich, and deep. For all these things we pray. Amen.
Please be seated. This ceremony, with its colors, regalia, symbols, and tradition, celebrates the achievements of our new graduates. So it is fitting that members of this graduating class will speak. The Interim Dean of the School of International Service, Christine Chin, will now address the Assembly and present the student speakers. Dean Chin.
Good evening, distinguished guests, families, friends, faculty, staff, and most importantly, candidates for degrees from the School of International Service. I'd like to thank our graduates, families, and loved ones. The school and I are grateful for all of your support and sacrifices that you've made to help them reach this very important moment. As an alumna of SIS, I've had the distinct honor of serving in the capacity of Interim Dean this academic year. SIS has played a pivotal role in my professional and personal journey. It is my hope that SIS has and will continue to do the same for you, our graduates, as you embark on your career paths. Throughout this year, we've been celebrating the school's 60th anniversary. Let us remember that what binds us is our school's original research teaching mission that is dedicated to the service of humanity. At the groundbreaking ceremony for SIS 60 years ago, President Eisenhower urged us to focus on the work of waging peace. We wage peace today when we uphold a core value of our school, and it is to respect the dignity of every human being. We wage peace when we strive to understand and analyze great challenges of our era via different and innovative lenses in order to craft viable and sustainable solutions, be it here at home or around the world. We wage peace when we help care and fight for the environment, uphold human rights, mediate intercultural misunderstandings and relations, craft policy for international political economic engagement, and of course, for the national and human security of nations. We wage peace when we participate in joint public-private partnerships to help rebuild communities, to strengthen economies and societies. Last but not least, we wage peace when we understand that well-being of the self is inextricably linked to well-being of the other. The other, despite and because of differences, are us as we are them, coexisting on the same planet. SIS students, as you now prepare to leave us, please look at who is seated next to you, in the rows behind and in front of you. You've studied together, celebrated each other's achievements, consoled one another in times of hurt and pain. Basically, you've traveled this path together. If you can, look at the 5 rows in front of you to the folks who are dressed in very colorful regalia. Remember the faculty who taught you, challenged your assumptions and worldviews, invested in your academic and personal growth, insisted that you give your best, and over many, many, many cups of coffee or tea in the DAV, ignited and fueled your intellectual curiosity in its relationship to your professional pathways. Remember the staff scattered around this arena and those who await you for the reception back in SIS. They helped support and mentor you, assisted in your navigation of complex academic regulations and requirements, kept you away from trouble, and encouraged you to keep going, particularly when you least wanted to do so. Together, we have been and will always be your community. Do know this: SIS's future includes you. We're counting on you to help take our school's 60-year legacy forward. You who will inherit a world with many opportunities and challenges. You who are so well equipped to tackle problems and all the challenges yet to emerge. You who make us all so very proud. Enjoy this moment, remember it, and remember SIS. We are stronger for your having passed through these halls. Thank you. It is now my pleasure to introduce our graduate student speaker, Agnes Sagina. Agnes, please stand. Agnes approaches leadership and service with a heart of humility, a desire for understanding, and a deeply personal sense of honor and wisdom. Her passion and commitment led her to serve in the United States Marine Corps for 5 years, including overseas posts in Japan, the UK, Thailand, Vietnam, and Bolivia. Following her military service, Agnes enrolled in our school, the School of International Service, where she earned her bachelor's in international studies and now her master's in U.S. foreign policy and national security in 5 years. Together. Currently, Agnes works in the Office of the Special Inspector General for Afghanistan Reconstruction, where she continues to display her passion and commitment to national and international service. Please come to the podium, Agnes.
Thank you. Welcome, distinguished guests, faculty, family, friends, and everyone who has taken the time to celebrate the achievements of SIS's class of 2018. I'm sure most of you know this by now, but public service is difficult. And yet, here we stand today, ready to serve. So I want to know, what inspires you? I grew up on the Navajo Reservation. It's like you imagine. Small, rural, peaceful, and it has the most incredible view of the stars. People are kind and intelligent. We celebrate women within our matriarchal culture. And though we're humble, one of our greatest pride is the Code Talkers. The Code Talkers were a group of young men who created a code based on the Navajo language during World War II that defied interception and decryption. No one doubts that they're heroes. Yet, as I grew up, their story didn't seem so simple. Yes, their service inspired me, but it didn't make sense to me, especially as I learned about Diné history, the long walk, the broken treaties, the camp at Huete. And yet, when Japanese and German forces threatened the United States, instead of focusing on these wrongs, they filled recruiting offices. They said, "Send me, send me, send me." Growing up, I wanted to stay in my community and serve as a lawyer. But one day in high school, I saw a Navajo Marine looking sharp in her blue dress uniform. She stood tall, proud, and I saw her strength, and I remembered the courage of the Code Talkers. Their service inspired me, so I told the Marine recruiter to send me. I was eager to serve, but part of me was filled with guilt. I felt like I was betraying my tribe somehow, like I was leaving them behind. But I told myself I was still serving them, just in a different way. Plus, I'll be back someday. I wore the uniform that had inspired me at a variety of overseas duty stations, but one day the uniform made me a little sad. My group visited an orphanage in Thailand, and although the kids eventually warmed up, they were initially scared because of the uniform. My uniform meant something different to them than it did to me. I didn't want them to be scared. I wanted them to understand that I was there to help. I couldn't get this moment out of my mind. Why were they scared? I needed a better understanding. Once again, I had conflicted feelings, but I ultimately made the difficult decision to leave the Marine Corps and enroll at the School of International Service. To say coming here was a culture shock is an understatement. I was intimidated, shy, insecure, but SIS forced me to re-examine my experiences. For example, when I was stationed in Okinawa, there were regular protests. At the time, I couldn't understand why they were protesting. My class on East Asia helped me see their struggle on a personal level. I recognized their loss of sovereignty, and I realized U.S. military presence on Okinawa was part of the problem. The complexity of serving opened before my eyes. How can we serve when we cannot even see the challenges around us? How can we serve and be confident in our service when it can be hard to know whether we are helping or part of the problem? Or how could I have served in Thailand as a Marine for over a year without realizing that Thailand is a hotbed for human trafficking? As I learned more at SIS, I felt a pang of guilt that is still with me today. If I had only known. SIS gave me the ability to recognize problems and to understand that their complexity doesn't make them easier to solve, but it gives us a place to start. My professors and peers pushed me to take a more expansive view of the world, one that is more open, more critical, and dare I say, more optimistic about the value of international service. And I hope I'm not alone in feeling like this. Alone in feeling like I'm not doing enough. Alone in feeling like I've left behind people who needed me. But most of all, I hope I'm not alone in feeling optimistic. Service is hard, but here, we can take a lesson from the courage of the code talkers. Their story inspires us to serve. It reminds us to serve in the face of complexity, to serve in the face of historical wrongs, to serve in the face of imperfect institutions. The world needed the code talkers, and it still needs Navajo voices. The world needs diversity to generate new and creative ideas. It needs empathy and open ears, bold and compassionate leadership, and above all, a resolute commitment to solving the problems that can be solved, redressing the wrongs that can be redressed, and healing the wounds that have been handed down from generation to generation. So, my fellow graduates, think about what inspires you. Think about what inspires you, and then say, send me. Thank you.
It is my pleasure to introduce undergraduate speaker Angela Pupino. Angela, please stand. Angela is a native of Youngstown, Ohio, and a first-generation college graduate. Angela is earning her bachelor's in international studies with concentrations in global inequality and European studies. As an undergraduate student, Angela complemented her education with invaluable internship experiences, including those at the Center for Community Change, Pathways to Safety International, and the National Alliance of Community Economic Development Associations. Last summer, as a Public Policy and International Affairs Fellow, Angela spent some time in London and worked with the homeless communities there. Her experiences and commentary on poverty, voting, and race have been published by CNN, Quartz, and The Nation, among others. Renowned for her warm personality, she graduates with honors today and will begin working towards a Master's in Public Policy at Carnegie Mellon University this fall. Please come to the podium, Angela.
Good afternoon and welcome to the graduates, faculty, and esteemed guests of graduates at the American University School of International Service. For the last 4 years, I have described myself as an SIS major to anyone who asked. But as I reflected on what these last 4 years have taught me, I realized how casually I have tossed around the name of my school. After all, words matter. We are not graduates of the American University School of International Relations. We are not graduates of the School of International Affairs, nor Diplomacy, nor International Studies. Instead, we are graduates of the American University School of International Service. Today, I want to focus on that service. As the first person in my family to go to college, I know that I did not get here alone. My success is the product of my parents, who supported me even though they wished I would have stayed a little bit closer to home. My success is the product of my grandmother and aunt, who took off work and canceled plans for every campus move-in day. My success is the product of the congregation at my church in Ohio, who passed around the offering plate to raise money for my semester abroad in London. My graduation day only comes because of the people that served me, the teachers that taught me inside and outside of the classroom, the communities that rallied around me, and all the mentors and internship supervisors who were willing to take a chance on me. I dedicate my college degree to those who served me, those who taught me the value of sincerity and integrity, those who showed me that service is about giving back everything you have been given. Douglas Adams, the author of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, once said that, to give real service, you must add something which cannot be bought or measured with money, and that is sincerity and integrity. Those are both traits that are sorely needed, internationally and domestically, whether in government, the private sector, or in the vibrant mosaic of charities, NGOs, schools, and social movements that are shaping our world. The world needs sincere and honest public servants, willing to step into the world's most difficult, dangerous, and disheartening situations, identify what's needed, and make recommendations. And the world needs a new generation of humble and honest policymakers, educators, and journalists who will seek to understand before asking to be understood. Our generation is being called to serve a world that is troubled. From growing global inequality, to nuclear proliferation, to the impacts of climate change. The problems before us are complex and constantly evolving, and they often seem endless. In order to tackle these problems, we must all be dedicated to service. Every time I walk into the School of International Service building, I am reminded that service is not a moment, it's a mindset. Class of 2018, we have made service our mindset for the last 4 years. We have spent countless hours serving our communities and innumerable organizations on campus, in Washington, D.C., and around the world. We understand how our knowledge, passion, and talents can be used to serve others. As we move into the next stages of our lives, we must arm ourselves with sincerity and integrity. We must go out and serve our world. And no matter where we end up after we walk across this stage today, we must never forget that we are graduates of the American University School of International Service. Thank you.
Angela and Agnes, thank you all so much. I am honored to join with the university, community, parents, family, and friends in recognizing a very distinguished guest. University Provost Scott Bass will assist in conferring the honorary degree.
In granting honorary degrees, the university recognizes distinguished individuals whose life work represents the values, knowledge, and accomplishments that are embodied in the mission of this institution. Today, we honor a peacemaker and women's rights advocate who has earned respect internationally for her work in educating women, girls, and youth, and in promoting global peace and security. Dean Chin will join the presentation of this degree. The University Marshal will escort to the podium Lee Bowie to receive the degree of Doctor of International Affairs. No. Right here. Lima Bowie, the role of a peacemaker has rarely been more important. Your unwavering commitment to nonviolent resistance and peace not only paved the way for an end to your nation's devastating civil war and the election of Africa's first female head of state, you have provided an example for peace and human rights that will last for generations. You understood that peace must be broad-based to be long-lasting, and your ability to unify Christian and Muslim women across Liberia not only led to the end of the Civil War, but it also shows the world how to effectively broker lasting peace and security. Your life and your work serve as an inspiration to many millions of women and girls throughout the world, especially in developing countries. The fact that you have institutionalized the work in the Bowie Peace Foundation in Africa assures that the global movement of female empowerment and progress will only grow stronger with your work as the vanguard. The accolades and recognition that have come your way, from countless honorary degrees to the John F. Kennedy Profile of Courage Award and a Nobel Peace Prize, all serve to advance your story and inspire many young peacemakers in every nation to take up their challenge and advance the cause of nonviolence and peace. Our entire community looks up to you as an example of how one person can leave a powerful, positive, and lasting impact on the world, and in the process, save lives.
LeMay Bowie, by the authority of the Congress of the United States, vested in the Board of Trustees of American University, I am proud to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of International Affairs. This is your citation, and this is your degree. Congratulations. me to take everything back?
Please have your seats. Thank you all so much. Whilst we waited for the ceremony to start upstairs, I think it was Dean Chin who asked me, how many honorary doctorates have you gotten? And I said, it really doesn't matter, because every new one is special, and every new one comes with a new burden to keep up the good work. And that's a lot of pressure. I'm here with my daughter, Limu, and she says to me, when we come out and we see people honor you, then I forget that you are that crazy woman who jumped out of her car in the streets of Monrovia to chase down a mother who beat her 3-year-old. Someone you don't know at all, and when you can't catch her, you pick a stool and throw it after her because you just need to do something. And then you try to hold the child who doesn't know you, and the child starts to scream because all he knows is that you just chase his mother down the street. President Borwell, Provost Scott, Dean Chin, distinguished faculty, student body, staff, Board of Trustees, American University, graduating class, one and all. This is another day that the Lord has made in my life, and I will rejoice and be glad in it. I'm grateful and I'm humbled for this honor that you all have bestowed on me today. Growing up, my ultimate goal in life was to become a pediatrician. I'm a long way from that. My many doctor visits as a child made me decide that this is what I wanted to do with my life. At 17, fresh out of high school, we experienced one of the worst civil wars recorded in the history of Africa. Watching so many senseless killings and carnage, I decided I was not going to waste my time going to medical school when a tiny bullet could undo years of studies. I had no ambition. I had no clue, like many young children living in conflict contexts, where my life was headed. Fate would bring me to working with child soldiers as criteria for entering social work school. This engagement would lead me on several different journeys of building peace. The road to building peace have been exciting for me, heart-wrenching sometimes, exhausting, depressing, funny, but most importantly, it's been worth every moment of my life. Kindly stay with me as I briefly speak with you on the theme, Building Peace in a War-Making World. In 1998, as part of my requirement to go back to get a degree as a social worker, I had to be practicing social work. And so I volunteered at the Lutheran Church Trauma Healing for Reconciliation program. And the job that they gave to me was to design programs and work with ex-child soldiers who had different forms of disability. God had a sense of humor. That was the group that I hated the most as a result of the Liberian Civil War. I went to visit them on the first day, and when I entered the room, it was pitch black. I could barely see, maybe 20 young men, the stench of the room, different forms of disability. And they said, what you came to do here? Raw Liberian English. I said, I came to work with you all. They abused me for 1 hour. and I stood there and took it, like verbal abuses. The next day I came back, they abused me for 59 minutes. The following day, 58. By the 5th day, they realized I wasn't going anywhere. So they finally decided, let's just listen to this crazy woman. We eventually came to the place where we understood each other. I got to understand that a lot of them joined the conflict because they had no choice. For example, Sam Brown, someone I will eventually get to love as a brother, was 8 years old when his parents ran away from the village and left him behind. He stayed in that village trying to fend for himself until the warring faction came in. He had to carry things for them on his head. By the time he was 9, they taught him how to operate an AK-47, and by 10 years old, he was a full-fledged fighter in their revolution. When I met him at 16, his right arm was amputated, and this was someone that I hated. As I worked with Sam, I got to understand his addiction to drug, alcohol, and any other substance that would make him forget his physical disability. He got to understand me and my drive for peace. And as I go along, I'm going to ask you, or usually graduates are so anxious to go out and party or eat or do the cookout, they rarely remember anything the speaker says. So I'm going to give you all 5 lessons or 6 lessons from building peace in a war-making world. And the first lesson that I learned engaging with Sam, Joseph Colley, and all of the ex-child soldiers: be persistent, be consistent, and committed to your calling. You might just transform your worst skeptic. And in my case, the child soldiers did not think that I could do anything with them. A few months ago, starting a program at Columbia University, I walked in and saw a nameplate on one of the doors. I went in that office and I saw the guy who used to coordinate the child soldiers, master's degree, working in the Earth Institute, a former child soldier. Whilst my understanding and my feeling towards the child soldier changed as we engaged, I would realize that there were things that they had done in their lives as someone striving to build peace and to work with them that I could not resolve, or there are certain things that they did in their lives that I could not answer for. So one of the days we went into a village and I met this woman. She said, Mother of Peace. They used to call me our mom, Mother of Peace, whatever name. Sit down, I have a problem I need for you to resolve. So I sat next to her and she said, during the war, my son got killed. I know the killer of my son. My daughter went off to be refugee in some other country. Few months ago, I got a letter from my daughter. She's married happily to a pastor, and they have 3 kids. I asked her to send me pictures, and she sent me pictures later on. I recognized her husband as the killer of my son. They're moving back home. They're supposed to be staying with me. What should I do? The second lesson, it's okay to say you don't know. Yes, you got a fancy degree from American University, School of International Service. You want to go out, build peace in a war-making world. But it's just okay sometimes to say, I don't have an answer for this particular thing. I didn't have an answer for her. All I had to offer her was empathy, compassion, and to sit and cry along with her. As I've done this work from place to place, there's another lesson that I've learned. Building peace in a war-making world. People will spend billions on war and peanuts on peace. If you came into this field to look for cash, you're in the wrong seat. Because even as a Nobel laureate, the hustle is still on. You still have to write proposals and raise money, and sometimes even your salary will have to go into the work that you're doing. But empathy, partnership, and all of the different things are the things that get you to where you need to get to. As you go on this journey of building peace in a war-making world, understand that it's a journey of partnership and accompanying a group of people. It's never I have a fancy degree from AU and I'm going to save the world. In my work and working with the women, I've come to learn a lot of things as I go into communities. That one context of conflict is completely different from another context of conflict. I went to the Congo, and as we work and talk, I went with a whole delegation, and I realized that everybody came with a different set of expertise trying to save the Congo. Everybody came with answers of why the women acted the way they acted and why the community responded to them the way the community responded to them. I asked the women, can you tell me on a list of priority the top 10 things that are the main problems of the women of Congo? And if you've actually been to the School of International Service, the first thing you learn in North American literature about the Congo is that Congo is the rape capital of the world. And these women said to me, economic empowerment. Economic empowerment when everyone else believes that your problem in DR Congo is rape and sexual abuse, and the answer was no, this is not our problem. If we've had money, we wouldn't stay in this. The second issue was implementation of all of the laws and the policies that they had on the book. I learned a serious lesson from that you never go into a context and try to imagine that this is what the people need. A few years ago, I was in Boston at one famous university where it was a gathering of university students. And a group came to me and said, we've raised thousands of dollars, Miss Bowie, and we want to go into one African country, they call their name, and work with the women because they are abused. I said, wow. Abused, yes. How do you know it? Well, we went there and we saw them abused, and it was problematic for us. Wow. And so what do you intend to do? Well, we're going to make them aware that they're being abused. Wow. And then when you make them aware that they're being abused, what are you going to do? We're going to solve the problem for them. Wow. Just wow. When you're building peace in a war-making world, your duty is not to go and try to change people. Your duty is to walk alongside them. You can be from DC and you're working in New York. Don't even go with the mindset that I'm from North America. You could just miss the mark. It's a journey of partnership. You in the back, those with the problems in front. I know we all want to go and change the world. We all want to go and change things. I have, some days I look at some of the students when I do guest lecturing at different universities in this country, and they bring some of their theory of change. I'm like, Jesus, where did they come from? If someone tell you that I'm going to educate girls in Africa by interacting with them on social media at every day, and by that time they will get inspired to go to school, are you kidding me? Where is she going to get money from to get on the internet or to do stuff? So as you try to do good in this world, in the world of building peace, in a war-making world, it is important for you to follow after those you're going to help. One story that I like to tell about Liberia, a group went to this village and saw these women walk 30 minutes for water and 30 minutes back. And they kept saying, oh my God, these women are suffering. So they put a hand pump in the middle of the community. 6 months later, another group went back to say, we're going to investigate how this peace that we've built in this community has helped, how the water is helping the women in the community. They got there, yes, they were using the pump effectively, but they found another social problem. Half of the women were alcoholics. And then they started to investigate. And these women said, when we walk to the village, 30 minutes is where we exhale. When we're coming back, is where we found solution for our problems. You put a hand pump in the middle of the community, nowhere for us to sit to talk about our problems. Alcohol is our best option. Journey alongside people. On a journey to building peace in a war-making world, I've come to understand that you can never give power, you can never empower if you're unwilling to give up your power. So empowerment is giving up some of your power so that others may step into the limelight and be the best that they can be. It's going into communities and helping people to do stuff that they need to do. When I was in the Congo talking to 100 women who had been sexually assaulted, every one of those women who told their story told stories of wanting to kill themselves, but then other women came. Other women came and lifted them up and decided this is the way to go, and they had the zeal to live. Our duty in a world where everything is upside down is to get to the place where we step in the back and try to give some of our powers to other people. I would never be standing on this stage as a Nobel laureate if someone called a Twitter Cooper when we started protesting in Liberia did not step in the background so that I could do what she knew that I could do. I've gone to many places and I've mentored many young people. Creating spaces and opportunities for them to be the best that they can be is something that we all need to do. I know a lot of you are aspiring to work with the UN, work with the State Department, work with every other big-time job and make big impact. Trust me, the most rewarding ones will be the ones that you will do in the community. That you will look back 10, 15 years later and someone will say to you, you know what? I am because of what you did to me or what you did for me. So as we go out to build peace in a war-making world, and when I talk about peace, I'm not just talking about the absence of war, the absence of war. I'm talking about human security concern, looking at everyone as equal regardless of their race, sex, or sexual orientation. I'm talking about not dealing with people on the basis of how they pray or how they speak. Sometimes I wish I could wear my Nobel medal on my neck as I travel from place to place. Because I am dressed as an African and I will always do that proudly. Sometimes you get to some station and people will just arrest you. I remember being in Germany a few months back and they just look at my passport and this is like immediately after Paris. So you know if you have two men with AK-47 escorting a black person, everyone who passed by you look at you and say, poor terrorist, you've gotten caught. And that's exactly how I felt as these men were escorting me into a room. I'm wondering to myself, what did I do? And then we walk into the room and they take my passport and look at it and look at it and look at it. And next thing they say, you can go. Just like that? Yeah. There's no problem. No, sir. Two men escorted me here. I don't know my way. Can they escort me back to where they took me from? Because you have to fulfill the narrative. I don't want it to be halfway. You went with two soldiers. How are you going by yourself? So take me back to the plane. So peace building in this world that we're talking about is being able to stand up to hypocritical structures. Those structures that will say this is one thing and the structure that will be doing another thing, and we call it speaking from the corners of your mouth. Peace building in a war-making world is not just standing and protesting or sitting behind your computers and writing under different names. It's actually being able to stand up and speak truth to power. Peace building in a war-making world is understanding that racism is racism. It has no other definition. And many of you, as you go out as leaders in the world, some of you will have some of the biggest jobs on earth. Some of you will sit as Homeland Security, bringing people in. Think for a moment, if you walk into a country your first time and someone profile you in a way that is derogatory, how would you feel? We can do all of this, we can study everything that we study, but until we decide to turn our upside down world upright, we've missed the mark. Many times I come to the US, I tell people, and I'm in DC and I'm saying this, DC airport is one of the worst that I hate to come to. I always get called into the small room. And you know that small room, right? If you dress like me or you're from other place, you know that small room. But you go in there and sometimes They are not nice at all. And some of you will sit in these spaces and places, humanize people, make them to feel like humans when they come into your country. Building peace in a war-making world is the one that look at every young girl, boy, or every little girl or boy and say you can be the best that there is for you to be. The fifth lesson that I've learned in this process is that peace building in a war-making world is a process and not an event. You can never go out there and say we're going to kill it this once. It's small steps, small victories. When you listen to the news today and you read the newspaper and you think about the statistics of things happening, I've been telling people I'm officially crazy, but I'm waiting for a SAC ward to give me my certificate of insanity. Because I'm the only person that goes on these websites that say list of terror incidents in the world. Do you all go there to research? List of terror incidents. There's another one called Gun Archive. And as of last weekend, there were 19,000 shooting incidents in the US and over 5,000 deaths. There's another one that is called Wars of the World. It gives you by country how many countries are in wars and how many insurgent groups. So I go there sometimes to read and to get acquainted with what is happening in other parts of the world. For you in America, go to Gun Archive. If you go to Gun Archive today and you see the statistics, you check tomorrow, it's higher than today. If you see the number of deaths today, it will be higher tomorrow. It's a process. We all need to understand that we're working on a process. It's not just one big celebration, one big victory. Like the two leaders from North and South Korea walking the DMZ, and everyone is thinking that, okay, people need to start receiving Nobel Prize. I just said it. It is a process that started with women. It may humor a lot of you or interest you to know that in 2015, 30 of us activists spent 5 days in Pyongyang, 5 days in North Korea. What the hell we were looking for, we don't know. But all we know, we were doing people-to-people diplomacy. The death threats we received by emails. We left from there, and the North and South Korean women continued their advocacy in DC, this other place, that other place. This process that we're seeing is not a one-man show. It's something that has taken an entire generation of people working and advocating for. And this is the point that I want to leave with you. It is a process. It's never an event. Building peace in a war-making world will take a lot. Dear graduates, celebrate small victories. As you do celebrate, let down your hair if you have some. When we were in North Korea, one of the days it got so tense and stressful, I stuck my iPad to someone's sound box, the small ones that everyone carry, Bluetooth or whatever, and we started striking some African beats on the bus. And I got up and started dancing. And the whole bus started dancing. Our driver turned around and got so, because the bus was parked as we were dancing, he got so engrossed in watching us dance, the security had to slap his head to remind him that it would soon be time to drive. But by virtue of the fact that we were there, we were talking to young women. They were telling us, my host, the girl who they had assigned to me, was telling me issues of marriage and the abuses that was so prevalent in their communities. and everyone interacted one way or the other. Celebrate small victories as you build peace in a world-making world. Challenge structures. Speak more truth to power. Denounce violence. But most importantly, take care of yourself. I'm the worst person to be giving you that advice, given that I get on a flight on Monday and come back on Thursday and fly out again on Friday. But it's important for us to be the whole person if we want to keep doing what we are doing. The world is depending on you. The world is listening out for each and every one of you to chip at one of those problems. Don't give up. It may not seem like it's working, but trust me, as you step out there and see small things happening, you will understand that you can make impact. I'll end with a story because I like to tell stories that will give you hope. I moved to New York in all of my Africanness, the nosiness, the sassiness, and everything. And as I was walking one day, I saw 3 black boys go into a nail salon. It got very interesting for me. So I followed them. My meeting was left. They were going right. I followed them right. They went into this nail salon and came out with a pair of flip-flops. And when they came out with those flip-flops, I recognized, what are these boys doing with flip-flops? So I'm even more curious. So they start going further. Instead of going my meeting, I'm going further with them. I followed them, and what I saw is what I call building peace in a war-making world. This is America. This is the time Black Lives Matter is up there. Me Too, Time's Out. And every other hashtag is hashing. These boys had seen an old white man trying to get from point A to point B, and his flip-flops were broken. 3 black boys, 1 white man. I know Hispanic when I see it. I've been here long enough. I know mixed when I see it. I've been here long enough. White. They walk over to him, handed him the slippers, and I could not contain my excitement, so I ran to them and hugged all 3 of them. And every one of them went, whoa. I said to them, thank you. Tell your mothers that she's brought up very good young men. As you go out, live with integrity, embrace strangers, refuse to walk on tiptoes, walk loudly, leaving impact on our world. Building peace in a war-making world is not difficult. It takes heart. I thank you.
Thank you very much. We have others among us worthy of recognition. These are the scholars and teachers who guided today's graduates in their journeys of intellectual development and achievement. I ask the faculty of the School of International Service to please rise and receive the appreciation of your students, their family, and friends. Please rise. In addition, we'd like to acknowledge the dedication and service of members of the graduating class who will join the armed forces after graduation. They are identified in page 18 of the program. We also acknowledge graduating students who are active duty service members or veterans. These graduate students receive red, white, and blue cords to wear over their gown, courtesy of the American University chapter of the Student Veterans of America. There are many here today who have dedicated themselves to the pursuit of service to our nation and communities. I invite all current, past, and future members of the armed forces, including active service members and veterans, to stand. I invite those engaged in community and neighborhood service, healthcare, teaching, the Peace Corps, and assistance to all those who are vulnerable to stand and receive the audience's appreciation. Please rise. Thank you. We have a number of graduating students here today who are recipients of nationally competitive merit-based scholarships and fellowships. These scholarships include study abroad, funding for graduate education, and the participation in high-level work experiences. Students have worked closely with the Office of Merit Awards and faculty throughout the year and have participated in rigorous interviews around the country. A listing of national scholarships received by our graduating students is on page 14 to 17 in your program. I invite undergraduate and graduate students who have received recognition as national scholarship recipients and finalists throughout their time at American University to stand and be recognized. In addition, 5 graduating students from the School of International Service were honored at a reception held May 11th, honoring the University and Student Achievement Award winners. The award winners are listed on page 13 of your program. Brian J. Clark, please stand. Not only did you maintain a 4.0 GPA average while pursuing your master's degree in the School of International Service in the online program, you did so while serving in the U.S. Naval Attaché to the Republic of the Philippines. At the American Embassy in Manila, you are the principal advisor to the ambassador on maritime issues and principal liaison between the U.S. and Philippine navies. Your focus on international negotiation and conflict resolution has helped the embassy team to conduct informed discussions with their counterparts and contributed greatly to the success of the U.S. mission. Brian, for your outstanding academic work and research, American University is proud to honor you with the award for outstanding scholarship at the graduate level. Erin Danielle Matson, please stand. Erin, a student and research assistant, you have demonstrated a noble work ethic, exemplary research skills, and superior course work, all of which have been matched by your warmth and collegiality. Your passionate interest in sustainable farming, food systems, climate change, and racial and environmental justice draws on your experience as a founder of an organization of organic urban farming business in Chicago prior to graduate studies. Erin, for your exemplary academic record and scholarly contributions, American University is proud to recognize you for the award of Outstanding Scholarship at the graduate level. Congratulations. And now the Vice President of Campus Life and Inclusive Excellence, Fanta Av, will introduce the recipients of the University Student Award for Outstanding Service and Student Achievement Awards. Fanta?
The Award for Outstanding Service to the University Community is a highly competitive award that recognizes a nominee's unique contributions and sustained service that will leave a lasting impact on the university community, whether through student government, public service, organizational leadership, or a combination of several categories. Belinda Peter, please stand. Belinda, you served as an AU Connectors facilitator in the first year of the program, and through your roles with development and alumni relations, you launched the Asian and Pacific Islander Alumni Network and played a key part in planning the campus-wide Black and Latinx graduation celebrations. For going above and beyond to create lasting partnerships and celebrate the diversity of our campus, we award you the Outstanding Service to the University Community Award. The Student Achievement Awards recognize graduating students who have made exceptional contributions to the university community through student government, public service, organizational leadership, or a combination of these categories. 2 SIS undergraduates were honored on May 11th. Sigrid Sundby Ols, please stand. Sigrid, you dedicated your time at AU to helping international students find their home on campus. As Vice President of the International Student Association, and through your roles in the International Student and Scholar Services Office, you created a range of engagement opportunities and provided advising support to international students. For your contributions to intercultural understanding at American University, we award you the Carlton Savage Award. Olimar Rivera Noah, please stand. Yes. Olimar, after Hurricane Maria devastated your home of Puerto Rico, you mobilized American University Caribbean and Latinx communities to support one another, create awareness, and fundraise for those on the islands who were affected. You also supported your fellow students as a teaching assistant and through your roles with the Center for Diversity and Inclusion. For your contributions to building community, we recognize you with the Charles W. Van Way Award. Will the audience please join me in showing appreciation for the accomplishment of these students?
And I'd also like to do one more piece of recognition. Scott Bass, please stand. American University's Provost, Scott Bass, will transition to his faculty appointment at the School of Public Affairs on June the 29th, after leading our academic community for more than a decade. Following a well-earned sabbatical, he will begin preparations for a new university-wide AU Center focused on higher education. During his tenure, American University's campus has grown dramatically. We've become more selective, and our community has become more diverse. Our scholarship and research have improved, and we're now classified as an R2 research institution. And our campus has an array of new tools to meet the needs of today's students through programs like the Provost Bass Reinventing the Student Experience, or RISE project that the Provost started. Please join me in recognizing Provost Bass for a long record of service at this great university. Congratulations. Graduates of American University, you have grown and changed during your time here, and this university has grown and changed alongside you. We went from announcing snow closures with the hashtag #CancelItKerwin to #Burwell. First year students are already calling the AU shuttle the Wonk bus, and our Wonk cat is a bit older and wiser. Class of 2018, you came to this American university community from across the nation and around the globe. Right here, for many of you in this very arena, you joined the AU family. You brought your individual talent, the lessons you learned from your own family and your home, and your dreams. And if those dreams have changed over the last few years, I only hope that we have helped make them higher. There's a term I learned while I was working for the Gates Foundation. It's a Zulu term, Ubuntu, which means I am because we are. Each of us is who we are because of our community around us. And that's not to take away from your individual aspirations or your achievements. The insights you've gained, the lessons you've learned, the late nights of hard study, and those moments where you pushed yourself to excellence beyond your limits. You should be proud of every one of them. However, Ubuntu raises up individuals and their contributions by connecting them to their community. You are part of a community of doers and dreamers, of activists and artists, of scholars and servant leaders. Here at American University, you learn from influential and insightful faculty at the leading edge of their field. You were surrounded by dedicated and caring staff who came to work every day wanting to help you succeed, and a president who's always rooting for you. Together, your AU community marked amazing accomplishments. Faculty working with Nobel Prize-winning research teams, innovative partnerships with businesses and nonprofits and government, fascinating internships, tens of thousands of hours of service here in our Washington, D.C. community, and the historic accomplishment of becoming the first university in the United States to achieve carbon neutrality. Today, when you receive your diploma, you do not leave this community. You simply join a new part of it, an alumni network that is more than 128,000 strong, a network of leaders, change makers, and scholars, a community that returns to this university often to extend a helping hand to students, to lend their ideas, their talent, and their resources to make this AU community even stronger. Class of 2018, you have given so much to your AU community. You have made us stronger. You have changed us for the better. So my charge to you is simple. Go forth, improve the world, and thrive. Your AU community will always be a part of you and be behind you all the way. Finally, I charge you to heed the call of the University Provost Scott Bass as he begins the conferral of degrees.
All right. Here we go. This part of the ceremony is a source of enormous pride and satisfaction to the university faculty. Since it was first awarded in Europe during the Middle Ages, the doctoral degree has been recognized throughout the world as the highest measure of scholarly studies. The hood with which the degree recipient is invested is an ancient and universally respected symbol. It's awarded after years of rigorous graduate study, during which each doctoral candidate demonstrates superior intellectual ability and a commitment to the discovery of knowledge that makes an original contribution to his or her scholarly field. Today, we're pleased to recognize two scholars from the School of International Service. The doctoral candidates are escorted to the platform by their faculty advisors to symbolize the admittance into the community of scholars. Will the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy of International Relations please rise and remain standing? President Burwell, I am honored to present these candidates for the conferral of their degrees.
By the authority of the Congress of the United States, vested in the Board of Trustees of American University, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. With its accompanying rights and responsibilities, I am proud to welcome you as a scholar among scholars and as an alumni of American University. Congratulations.
Will doctoral degree recipients from the School of International Service please come to the platform with your dissertation advisors? Sharon Weiner, Director of Doctoral Studies, will announce the degree recipients.
Durame Combs, Doctor of Philosophy and International Relations, hooded by Dr. Patrick Thaddeus Jackson. Jia, Doctor of Philosophy and International Relations, hooded by Dr. Amitav Acharya.
As we begin the conferral of master's and bachelor's degrees, I ask that the parents and guests remain in their seats as students come forward to the stage for recognition. There will be a photographer on the stage to record the event for every graduate. Candidates for degrees, please rise and remain standing as your degree is announced. Candidates for master's degrees, please rise. Candidates for bachelor's degrees, please rise. President Burwell, on behalf of the Dean of the School of International Service and the faculty members who've taught and guided these women and men, I'm honored to present these candidates for master's and bachelor's degrees.
By the authority of the Congress of the United States, vested in the Board of Trustees of American University, I confer upon you the degree for which you have been recommended and certified with its accompanying rights and responsibilities. Dean Jen, will you now present our new graduates for their individual recognition?
Will candidates for master's and bachelor's degrees from the School of International Service please come to the platform?
following students are candidates for the degree of Master of Science. Jen Elise Glickman. John T. Tabor Tabor. Gail Robinson. Maeve Bartlett. Kevin D. Garcia. Kimberly Maria Maldonado. Ingrid Kosgard. Irene Daniel Matson. Carolina Juanita. Alison E. Moses. The following students are candidates for the degree of Master of International Service. Michael Pennington. Kay Reta Savra Leonard Farrell. Tina Terry. The following students are candidates for the degree of Master of Arts. Maria Butina. Brian J. Clark. Sarah Christine Schoffeld. Lorraine Karina Lutz. Catherine Ann Pierce. Bale Andrew Gaffison Mwaba. Andre J. Thomas. Amy Keiko Oda. Bailey E. Graves. Philana W. Grant. Anissa Fatma Smith. Ryan M. Hagan. Leslie Bazin. Lauren C. Talbot. Marcy Placid. Jesse Meroff. Molly Jean Bradkey. Kelly Ann Paschal. Catherine F. Strelowitz. Karina M. Bossman. Christopher B. Dean. Tiffany L. Lopata. Cassandra Ann Blass. Stefano Constanti. Flora Devandakani Green. Sarah N. Finnegan. Crystalline Santos Givens. Corden Lane Smith III. Amanda Short. Julie Carabel. Franisak Viakoka. Ryan Edward Anderson. Aya Ali Jamali. Ludas E. Gazia. Caroline M. England. Rina Fetahaj. Naria Alexandria Willis. Anamika Kumpawat. Lindsay Alexandra Dahl. Jennifer B. Statman. Rebecca Villalobos. Christine B. McCurdy. Maribel Rodriguez. Bryant D. Sewell. Adam Paul Footlick. Joseph P. Walters. Samantha Hall. Nicole Ann Mulas. Marianne Menios. Ethan C. Whiting. Joshua N. Pontillo. Madeline Genevieve Hoskins. Emily Ann Kitchens. Oma Kaufman. Kaylin M. Kovacic. Jessica Josephine Fleet. Nora Emma Katacharian. Mackenzie Fox. Ashley Estelle Moose. David Scott Buchanan. David Lee. Carlton Gorman. Agnes Robinstein Sagina. Sarah M. Sarinana. Hyula Tilly Taskiran. Denny Popovsky. Christopher C. Eckard. Francis McDonough Sweeney. Amy Ruth Pfeiffer. Emmanuel Andres Davililo Hidalgo. Blessings Anthony Neong Ikpa. Karen Amethyst Martinez Mascarinas. Giovanna Casas Reyes. Gamachurai Pamela Mote. Alexis Coleman. Abra A. Rage. Justine King. Clarence Jacqueline Polke. Valentine D. Gibson. Caitlin Virginia Moore. Alicia M. Duda. Natalie Ann Lando. Rabia Odin. Bastian Ian Yannick Andret. Ryan B. Bagel. Audrey Marie Manahan. Adrian Enrico Galindo. Ian Evans. Katie Victoria Scott. Kimberly C. Nida. Justin Williams. Mallory Mackenzie Shelbourne. Andrew C. Kratachoville. Caleb Harold Scomater. Belinda Peter. Camila Pereira de Santana. Murdan Anamenoff. Mikalia Lean Appel. Victoria Regina Hill. Ryan Althofer. Dina Nava. Colleen Christine Moore. Elizabeth Marie Schepper. Emily S. Moore. Lorna J. Batista. Barbara B. Burma. Bani Behniwal. Caroline A. Hernandez. Yasmin Zaha. Almua Mulis Ubake. Dominique M. Crane. Carly Anderson. Sengpet Latnavong. Jenna C. Robinson, Atika Alkaloff, Pavitra L. Suresh, Corina Hendren, Ellen A. Grapp, Abigail Noel Wolgamore Evans, Kiara Janine Teresa Taylor, Essence Loris Lee, Amy Katzman, Zana Wang, Ha Hai Lee, Marshall Adiputra Swaja, Brianna Wilson, Alexis McWilliams, Rachel Ann Miller, Mardi Kuhi, Aubrey Ann Turo, Elizabeth Folland, Iveta Stefanakova, Johanra Delgado, Dilman Abdul Kader, Turkey Hamed Bayabis, Anjali Sa, Wilton J. Pichado, Nicholas De Duff, Garrick T. Wizard, Teresa Juana Gazia Castro, Carly McKenna Gritton, Alexandra A. Toro, Elizabeth Ruby Holmes, Erin Kelly, Jessica Clara Himmelfarb, Mari T. D. Luna, Nicole J. Phillips, Nicole E. Smith, Brianna Lizette Cordis, Brandon C. Pless, Mona Hassan El Sayed Ahmed, Rachel Chang, Kirti Kya, Alan L. Sutton, Jeffrey M. Wilbur, Lin Do Nang, Hitomi Yokoyama, Daniel McDevitt, Joseph G. Tony, Anna Marie Rivera, Franco Ernesto Velit, Christopher Jordan Melton, Hannah E. Hunt, Konstantin Ivanov, Timothy C. McGiff, Courtney M. Ruble, Amanda Megan Kelly, Adrian Caroline Turner, Aubrey A. Peterson, Jacob Andrew Klein, Ariel Morgan Luthard, Jacob L. Keller, Jason F. Moy, Devyani M. Mehta, Emily C. Gary, Christina Kasiva, Natasha Catherine Boychenko, Jeffrey I. Soro, Venesso Tengande. Dine Y. Adams. Virginia F. Cady. Nancy J. Fagbreen. Sarah B. Grace. Karen Josephine Lee. Chiwe Oniochek Chukwu. Johannes Alden Hartopo. Shivani Vakaria. Alexis Nicole Cherry. Caitlin Leza. Julie Ann Geiger. Deborah Blue Carey. Ayan A. Dini. Amanda M. Stanford. Angelica Amy Silva. Courtney Ann Arnott. Jason Michael Farr. Crystal S. Brown. The following students are candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts.
Let me know when it gets that high. Kimoy Taylor. Kisa M. White. Diari Toure. Anisha S. Robinson. Rachel E. Dean. Linda Suzanne Mullen. Christopher A. Sang. Maria Jesus Melgan Domenech. Joshua Zeman. Laura M. Al-Jabari. Mia Mladenovic. Raymond C. San. Tomas Klusterman. Maria Farnada Zacharias. Kimberly Ann Carter. Paula Beltran Madrid. Sophia Rubin. Colleen E. Warner. Garrett Doyle. Irvin Nadru. Caitlin J. Yu. Moses Chow. Alex Wan. Q. Wan Lee. Keith Xavier Wright. Elenia B. Weinberg. Anna Rode. Nathan A. Young. Alexander C. Harvey. Sabrina Y. Barton. Brandon Roscoe Simmons. Allison R. Forsyth. Olivia A. Vallone. Caroline Jane Garrison. Grace Logan. It's fine. You're good. Laura Elizabeth Newmayer. Elena Cheyenne Rudnick. Carter W. Bell. Frank Daniel Mariscal. Angeline M. Adamski. Angela June Pupino. Chelsea Nicole Barrera. Du Yoon Kim. Dakota J. Hayes. Gabrielle Ray Buryak. Mackenzie Lorene Lee. Natalie Rosemarie Gonzalez. Jessica Catherine Merriman. Taylor Renee Smith. Madeline Schieber. Abigail S. Newbold. Catherine Ann Hughes. Janice Eileen Marmol. Sophie Alexandra Edbrook. Manuela Lozano. Thomas Fernando. Gabrielle Basnick. Nolan C. Winters. Peter Scott. Zitian Soon. Ryder Gottlieb. Alexandra Nadarashvili. Bethel Hile. Saring Ladun. Ashley Nate Vayek. Soledad N. Lauren Raquel McBroom. Elizabeth Kruchinska. Stephanie Elise Livingston. Margaret Kaufman. Kathleen Vaughn. Nia Emily Hudson. Marissa M. Amer. Crosby Rublee. Silas Dustin. Katie Irene Weischlegel. Samantha Rose Maston. George N. Marshall. Gabriela Ferreras Russo. Valentina Gavier Sader. J.A. Werner. Elena C.G. Sable. Jean-Francois Hernandez. Nicole A. Schoen. Avery R. Dorsey. Kara M. Horan. Alexandra N. Repko. Taylor M. Daly. Christina B. Politz. Brianna P. Guillerme. Matthew D. Kelly. Jarivi Ann Mitchell. Anika Tashin. Anna Elizabeth Brocious. Carrie Marie Biondo. Louisa F. Mora. Rochelle D. Rokes. Elena V. Zielinskaya. Stephen D. Anderson. Boyan Yordanov Penuv. Samantha G. Russell. Taylor Garrett Westrick. Amanda Catherine Borth. Daniel P. Fitzgerald II. Caroline Elizabeth Sparno. Brianna Marie Belati.
Calvin George Ellison. Kendall Lynn Lawrence. Brian Patrick Wakamo. Maxwell Joseph Glass. Abigail Grace Sale. Sorry. Julia Ann Zaglin. Emily Patricia Myers. Laverty, Sabrina A. Laverty. Megan Elizabeth Murphy. Kylie L. Grupo. Kilas F. Samaha. Dylan J. Fairbairn. Estefania Elizabeth Ayala. Hannah D. Dennis. Ashley Jordan. Caroline Tamara Horde. James H. Davenport. Penelope Spica. Jeremy Frisch. Jenna Marie Doyle. Liliana R. King. Sierra Schmitz. Joseph J. Palacios. Ethan Benjamin Gumpert. Isabella Marie Mezzatesta. Ellen Pasquale. Okay. Emily A. Nielsen. Ms. Leela Baumgardner. Michaela Chelsea Pellerin. Rebecca Palin Timish. Alexander John Chabala. Benjamin Thomas Foley. Nicholas John Highland. Christopher J. Hard. Felipe Herrera. Zena Jade Itzkowitz. Lauren Alessandra Sormani. Stephen M. Babbitt. Alexander Edward Leslie. Adam M. Carranza. Liana M. Longobardi. Jared M. Franz. Judith Glenn Mabone. Natasha Vija. Elise Marguerite Jones. Ria Ashit Kapadia. Brittany Ann Ashley Campbell. Soran Griffiths. Sarah Ann Griffiths. Slow up the mark. Danielle M. Smith. Lauren N. Peresini. Lena Elise Alam. Alexandria Michelle Morrison. Isaiah Andres Beaton. Samantha E. Young. Madeline V. Rapp. Therese Maria Dibez. Nizar Jamal. Olimar Rivera Noah. Mora R. Jewel. Divya Sani. Sigrid Sunbi Woolsness. Anna Beth Pelesh. Hannah Mika Lobel. Bridget Allison Corna. Laura Elizabeth Lenehan. Laura Olivia Alvarez. Emily Marie Smith. Lucia Carmen Jimenez. Caroline Deweese Rose. Joseph M. Wagner. Benjamin Lucas Shaver. Alexander S. Davis. Antonio Ortiz Mena. Francois N. Henswell. Courtney Lee Kurz. Kelsey Cooper. Natalia Eugene Makrans. Elizabeth Anya Racky. Sophia Victoria Schmidt. Barbara Alessandra Galizia Ruiz. Valerie Lucia Valdez Pinto. Cameron Lawrence Kushner. Robert Morgan Givens. Tyler Joshua Chalmers. Molly Shea Gormley. Sabina Waldron Fickenworth. George Bagaipo. Sumintra Leedy. Haley Meacham. Nuha J. Hamid. Maya Acharya. Ana Lourdes Alanis Amaya. Kyle Michael Schaefer. Evan Ryan McGuire. Alexander C. Werner. Matthew W. Schilke. Philip Colon. Sebastian Legoff. Alexis Ruth Carey. Cassie Boudreau. Alyssa Bain. Matthew James Bernabeo. Henry Björknas Sum. William Michael Rivlin. Ryan P. Guerra. Maisha Malahi Huck. Elizabeth N. Rathburn. Naomi May Tamura. Anna M. Schwartz. Catherine Conchetta Ullman. Mara Sleepisan. Emily M. Hussey. Catherine Bryn Bruder. John A. Levesque. Eliana Dolores Duran. Kayla Day Owens. Suzanne Nemo. Alexa R. Fobal. Melanie Aaron McKenzie. Sinyan Lau. Tyler Samuel Platt. Daniel J. Way. Oksana K. Ryuk. Kathleen Connolly. Vaishant Sharma. Cody James Shallow. Jordan Paris Creast. Jack Alexander Gallo. Kendall P. Mann. David L. Cole Miller. Brian Blonder. Kirsten Mary Michi. Rowan Nakanishi. Luke Thomas. Bailey Jake Wong. Chelsea Chow. Michael A. Owen. Gabriel Reynolds Harrison. Catherine M. Burke. Anna Catherine Beckley. Lauren Michelle Fay. Jessica Chapman. Maxwell Augustus Nito. Angela Hong. Sabini V. Winter. Allison Lee Caburian. Amaris Renee Norwood. Maria E. Balzer. Kennedy Francis Maria Protwecki. Lucia Silu Stevenson Yang. Benjamin L. Williams. Peter Joseph Chaloni. Zachary Boyd Coles. Danielle R. Montecalvo. Brianna Grace Goatsky. Allison Marie Graysom. Shannon Camelier Murphy. Ian Bonanno. Maria Rodriguez. Brooke Summers. Gabrielle Sirunian. Maxwell Joseph Spivak. Juliana Beth Levinson. Dylan M. Wong. Megan Brooke Armstrong. Aswara Saad. Eleanor G. Shu. James M. Belfato. Jungshi Wong. Hui Chao. Ji Yi Chen. Zichu Chi. Edward Blanchard. Chunrei Zhou. Benjamin Nye. Idrik G. Machi. Nada Musa. Uman Abdel Hamid. MM Ensima Ubud. Anil E. Koljan. Joe Hanau. Olivia W. Coyle. Regan D. Williams. Kelly M. Smits. Suzanne Adair Clays. Jamie Marshall Binden. Muriel N. Napoleon. Sanjay Supan. Chiok K. Natalie Chun. Rosemarius James. Anna Claire Beischer. Takahiro Kinoshita. Max Arthur Lunoska. William Norton Bliss. Mirza Mansour Samiroju Suleimanov. Mehmet Kuntar Uz. Marissa A. Ortiz. Erin Elizabeth Schlager. Zachary Lawrence Markinson. Julio Cesar Fuentes Jr. Juyi Hong. Chapia Thar. Anna Lee Wolf. Jisoo Wan. Kaho Ishimaru. Natsumi Oda. Mara Grace Mordecai. Emily Joy Simonson. Jeremy Chekaluba. Gassan Fozan Shams. Stephanie Marie Peralta. Catherine Saldivar. And Kiara Zobek.
I congratulate you and am proud to welcome you as alumni of American University. Will our newest graduates please rise? You're rising. You're here. As a symbol of your new status, you may now move your tassels from right to left. Please join me in congratulating the graduating class of the School of International Service, class of 2018. Congratulations, graduates. As we conclude this 135th commencement ceremony, I thank all of you, parents, family, friends, and members of the university community for participating in this important occasion. The graduates, their families, and guests are all invited to the School of International Service reception in the School of International Service building and on the adjacent plaza. Will the audience please remain in their seats until the platform party, the faculty, and the graduates have recessed through the auditorium. This ceremony has now concluded. Congratulations, graduates.